Good morning, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the Backpack Trader Training Room for Thursday, February 8th, 2024. This room is for educational and information purposes only. It is not to be considered individual financial advice. Trading of this type carries substantial risks and should only be attempted with funds you can afford to do without. Good morning, Boom Boom. Please do say hello in the chat. We are done with the risk disclosure. Crude oil. 9 o'clock start, spotlight. In the March contract, we're using the 8-tick range bar on NinjaTrader. That would be an 8-cent momentum bar on TradeStation. We had a couple of trades come up, one of them at 902.14, then another one at 902.56. The later trade was smaller, but went through to targets 1 and 2 for 31 ticks and a one and done session. Unleaded. Okay, we first had this trade 7 seconds after 9, or 9 o'clock start time again. Unleaded gasoline also on spotlight, a 20-tick range bar or 0.002 momentum bar in TradeStation. That gives us a full loss. 52-tick risk, 2 positions is 104-tick loss. Then we pick up the second trade, which is also a long. That one gives us plenty of time to trigger in. Goes through target 1 and target 2. Target 2 were 79 ticks, and we trail up all the way to 184. That's up above target 2, so at least 160 ticks. So that puts us positive in a 2 and done session on unleaded. Soybeans. We're waiting for market open at 9:30, coming up in just a few seconds. 5 seconds. Looking for a new trade on the YM. There is a new trade. $11.92 flat. Too fast to get in initially. That is a get in sync, and now we have a new long trade. So long and short trades on tap. Short trade at 11.92, long trade at 11.94 3/4. Long trade triggers in. Pound Aussie has a short trade, and we also have looks like we have a long trade. Yep, that we should be in that trade on the micro Russell, and that just hit target 3 and out just slightly more than a break-even trailer. And now we're short. that was a little too fast to catch on the short side. So that is, at this point, a no, and that stops out. So that is a no trade. Win on the long side, no trade on the short. New long setup. Plenty of opportunities to get in that. Short trade on the YM. And our long trade on soybeans, one tick away from money management and target one. There's target one, so that will be a one and done session on soybeans. The YM picked up a long trade, or rather a short trade. Now the question is, did we have time to get into that? Let's duplicate and see. Meanwhile, there's another short trade. So that is our first trade of the day, or first or second. Should be in that trade. And a full loss on the long trade on Micro Russell. I will have to bring up the Micro NQ chart. That should be it right there. We got another minute or so to go before our start time there. Soybeans trailing stop at 95.5. Stop and reverse on from short to long on the pound Aussie, 94.03. So that's going to put the money management at, that's going to push it up beyond target 3. $415. So I would split this one, your position on this one, half at target 4, half trail. All right. All right, looks like we've got target 2. We're very close to it if we didn't. Yep, target 2 on soybeans. $1,200 flat, and we have 13 and 21 ticks in hand. 34 ticks so far. Stop at 96 3/4. Target 1 on the YM, trailing at stop moving down to 811. No, I'm sorry, it moved down. 806. Alright, if we assume that that was a loss on the initial short, 803 for the stop now, and it just hit it, so we are out. The initial trade was 36 tick loss. That was a 30 tick target one. We stopped out at 803 from the entry at 812, so we pick up 39 ticks, 39 points. So we net 3 points on those two trades, and that actually is a POQ. Step aside and avoid the market risk. Short on the micro Russell. Just triggered in as I was watching that. Long trade on the micro NQ. That does trigger in. And soybeans stopping out at 97.5. Target one was at 98 flat, so we pick up 11 ticks on times 2 position, 22 ticks on top of our original 34. Puts us at 56 ticks on the morning. 14 points, $700 trade. So soybeans is done, the YM is done, crude is done, unleaded is done. There is money management, and target 4 on the pound Aussie is 418. And yes, we hit 418.1, so target 4 in hand, just a 2 position trade, so it's going to be larger positions. Stop comes up to 404, and we have the other half of our position, the other half of our trade in the trailer. So this is going to be a one and done, and we're down to our Russell getting another target 3 win, and our stop is at 57.1. Two wins and a loss for the micro Russell, and a loss for the micro NQ on its first trade of the morning. Looks like the plotted trailer now on the pound Aussie is up to 404, so we'll now start trailing that. And we have a short trade on the micro NQ. Target 4 on the micro Russell, trailer at 56.2. 55.7 for the Micro Russell trailer now. 408 for the Pound Aussie trailer. Micro NQ trying to work down through the 200 EMA. Failed to get lower once through the 200 EMA. Pushed through it and bounced back up. 3 or 4 bars later. But our catapult charts on the Micro Russell and the Micro NQ are the only thing. Now we're still active on the Pound Aussie, but we're just waiting for this trade to finish because this is the POQ trade. Power of quitting trade. We will be positive. Yeah, we should be positive on this. If you normally split it up into 5 positions, I would have split this trade into 2 positions, but at your normal position sizing for 5, or rather, the overall trade, you still want to have a similar risk on. Lost 75 pips on the first trade. So if I split this 3 at target and 2 to trail to make it apples to apples, we pick off 17 times, actually it's a stop and reverse. Oh, that's right. So it would have been 17 times 5, and then 15. So it would have been 85 pips. And we would have picked up 15 times 3, 45. So we're down 40. So with 2 positions on the trailer, we need 20 pips there. So we're going to have to get up beyond target 3, or beyond target 4 rather, by about 5 pips for break even. And Micro Russell stopped out at 54.3. Micro NQ back to the entry point. That target 4 was 418. Yeah, from 403. So we need to get to 423 on the trailer for break even. 424 would put us two pips positive. Pound Aussie setting new session highs. Five pips in hand on the trailer. Another 12 plus minutes to the crude 10 a.m. mini session. YM working right around its 200 EMA. Micro NQ right around its 200 EMA. All three EMAs on the Micro Russell chart right together. And the long trade that I didn't notice as we were watching other things has already gone to target 3. Nine-second entry bar, so plenty of time to get in. Target 4 and trailing at 56.9. $409 for the Pound Aussie trailer. $424 is our target for 2 pip positive session. Still 56.9 on the Micro Russell stop. Micro NQ stop sitting at 837.5. That's a full stop if we hit it. Pound Aussie going to 414. So we need another 9 pips. Actually, another 10 pips to get to POQ, power of quitting. And we have a stop and reverse, which would occur at the full stop out. And triggering long on the stop and reverse on the Micro NQ. That's loss number 2. Target 4 and trailing at 57.8 now on Micro Russell. crude with a long trade. Of course, that's outside of our trade plan. We're done for the 9 a.m. session, and we haven't gotten to the start time for 10 a.m. yet. Excuse me. Look like we'll move up to 419 on this close of this bar. So that will put us at just 5 ticks away from being positive on the session. No changes so far. 59.7 for the micro Russell stop, setting new session highs. 59.9. So the Russell pushing higher. Micro NQ just kind of stuck right at the entry. Pulling back one more time to the 50. Now let's see if it'll bounce off of that. About 4 minutes to our crude inventory, or not crude inventory, but 10 a.m. crude mini session. 60.7 for the micro Russell stop. This is win number 3. Along with 1 loss. So once again, we will go to 6 trades. No, we won't. Not necessarily. All we need is 1 more win or 2 more losses. So it could be 5 or 6. 62.7. Micro Russell showing some strength. Small caps definitely showing some strength right now. Micro NQ in a pretty tight range today. 17,791.5 to 17,862.5. So what's that? 71 points. Pretty tight range for the micro NQ. 63.2 for the micro Russell. Most of that time on the micro NQ spent, looks like, in negative territory. Session open was 850 and a half, so it just went 12 points above that. So 59 points below. And the stop on the pound Aussie just moved up to 419. I'm not going to go anywhere yet because it's balance line. Balance line is just at 423, so that'll keep it at 419 unless we move up another tick. One minute to go for the crude 10 a.m. session, or minute 5. YM and the micro NQ both kind of just going a little bit sideways. YM right at the 200 EMA. Micro NQ bounced off the 200 EMA, but not moving upward with any power. Well, the micro Russell's moving solidly up beyond the 200, beyond all three EMAs, after dipping below the session open at 1953.5. Now it's set a 1966.4 session high. And the micro NQ hitting target 1. So our stop comes to 837 and a quarter. Actually, it'll be a little higher than that because we did make an adjustment on the stop and reverse. Yeah, 837 and 3/4 will be the break-even stop. We made a 2-tick adjustment for the stop and reverse. $63.7 for the micro NQ. I'm sorry, micro Russell M2K. All right, looks like we'll go to. We actually need 1 tick higher. We'll come to our break even at 423 on the close of this bar. We need 1 tick of movement in the balance line to make it round to 24 and get us positive. All right, crude hit its money management, so that trade is off the table. So we'll look for a new trade there for a 10 a.m. session that we are in now. Good morning, Mark. 64.2 for the micro Russell stop. Still at 837 3/4 for the micro NQ. And waiting for a new trade on crude. And we did come to 423 on the pound Aussie, so we are at dead break even right now. Assuming we did get into the earlier short trade and took the stop and reverse off of that. $64.7 for the micro Russell. Now an up close will get us positive on the pound Aussie, assuming it closes above the balance line. Even if you adjust around the current swing, the swing low is 26.2, so you'd still be at 24, and that would be a POQ. And 64.9 for the micro Russell. Micro NQ making a run at its session high and setting a new one, actually, just a tick or two. Pushing it up from 62.5 to 63. Yeah, just 2 ticks, but almost there. Target 2 is 65.5. So 2.5 points. 67.2 for the micro Russell. That is your scalp and run type strategy at its best on the micro Russell. You got targets 3 and 4 and then just went off on a tear on the trailer. Entry was like 55.2 and we're now at, we've got a high of 70.4. So 15 points, 150 ticks. And the trailing stops at 67.7. Micro NQ really struggling to try to push up and seeming to pull back now. Looks like it may be trying to go back and test the 50. 69.2. 69.7 now on the micro Russell. And we've got 17 points. Total excursion on that trade now. 69.9. Approaching 15 points on the trailer. All right, pound Aussie balance line at 429.5. But we did get a little swing low down around 426. So I would, If this closes upward like it's appearing it will, I'd move the stop to 24. Plotted stop's gone to 27, but I would stay at 24 on that. The next up bar will be the one that really gets us some positive. Movement on that stop. Probably up to 29. Just not sure it's going to go there. And we did stop out for break even on the micro NQ. So 2 losses and a break even on the micro NQ. Trading on win number 3 on the micro Russell. $18-point gain on the, or 18-point excursion on this trade from entry to session high. $18.2, 182 ticks. $14.7 points, so 147 ticks on the trailer at the moment. Crude still pushing up in the early long trade, so nothing to do there. And a new short trade on the micro NQ. That did touch the entry, looks like. Entry at 834 flat. And we got to 33.75, so yeah, it did hit the entry. Plotted stop still surviving on the pound Aussie. Now it dropped below 27. But my adjusted would be 24, which is where the short trade entry is. But that would be a positive. Getting down to 24.5. 70.9 for the Russell. 73.9 for the session high. And we did push through the 24. So we stop out at 24. 2-tick positive result, assuming a 3 positions at target 4 and 2 positions trailing split because of that very small trade. That was enough to get us positive. So we have 15.7 points on the micro Russell trailer, 157 ticks at 50 cents a tick per contract. Just waiting for this earlier trade on crude to finish so we can get into our 10 a.m. session. Pound Aussie did stop out and would have gone short if we weren't at power of quitting. And the YM pushing downward, and that is loss number 3 on the micro NQ, so that will end the session. 71.4 for the Russell stop, 74.3 for the session high. That brings us to 16.2. $81 just on the trailer. For a single contract position. See if the Pound Aussie picks off. $71.4. Micro Russell continues to push upward. YM now the one that's pushing downward. Micro NQ pushing up also. And crude stops out, so we'll look for a new trade there. $72.3 for the micro Russell stop. $75.4 for the, oh my goodness, 20-point move on this trade. And we've captured 17.1. So that would be $171, $85.50. Pound Aussie trying to push its way down to target 1 on the short trade that we're not in. And did we stop out of the micro Russell trade? Yes, we did. We hit the stop exactly. So 17.1 points. 17.1. $85.50 on the trailer alone. Single contract position. So that ends everything. But the crude 10 a.m. session, it's 20 minutes in and doesn't have a trade yet. If we haven't gotten a trade by 10:30, I'm going to go ahead and call it a morning. Unless somebody has some questions or comments they want to discuss. And another loser on the micro NQ, just noise in the system there. And the micro Russell rolling over. Don't know if that's going to be a reaction yet or not, because that was a big move up. 20 points. So a third to a half, you're looking at, you know, 6.5, at least 6.5 points to get a third of it. So you're looking for another 16. Yeah, we're down 6 points. Almost 7. Yeah, 6.5. So that very well could be a reaction move. Also bringing it in proximity to the 50 EMA. So we'll see whether that bounces off the 50 EMA and moves higher on a subsequent action, or if it just continues down. And there is our first trade. Avoidable short so far. Small trade. It went to the entry, so I would bring the entry down to 38. So that's going to bring the money management down to 28. And our targets will be targets 3 and 4. "25 minutes to our first trade, but still not in that trade. It bounced down to the, spiked down to the entry and then pushed back up. Small enough trade, I don't want to make more than one tick adjustment. I'd love to adjust around the 20 SMA, but it's just too big of an adjustment for this size trade. All right, touching the session high and setting a new one by 1 tick so far. Stop at 56 would cancel the trade. Okay, 2 ticks from the stop. I will be back momentarily. All right, looks like we picked up a stop and reverse. Since we made the adjustment and we're not in the short trade 75.56, so and it did touch it, so we would be long. Or if you didn't get in, move your entry to 57. Same situation there as we had on the short. Spike to the entry. So I would say push that up to 57 if you didn't get in initially. And so far that's also going to push the money management up to 67, or yeah, 67. Which is actually target 1 and hits the stop. So, and no trade out of that one if you made the adjustment. So 2 no trades. And Russell at it again. This is win number 4 on the micro Russell. So this will be the last trade of the session. There. Trailer at 74.8, already gone through targets 3 and 4. And it did as I suspected. That was a reaction move and set up a subsequent action. That would be nice if that was similar to the last one. New short setup on the crude chart. Looks like a new long setup is very likely, except we don't have an oversold. Well, no, it looks like it's going to be a yellow trade. 48 to, so 58 for the entry would be the stop. I am expecting a new long entry right there. Bar should close at 56. That puts the entry at 58. And there it is. And it bounced up through. The only way you'd be in that is if you'd anticipated the trade as I was talking about. And even then, if you had a stop limit order in, there's a good chance it would have gone right by you. Getting within 1 tick of our entry again, though. Just not sure it's going to push up through that. Looks like it came down to the entry, so we are in the trade. And the Russell stopping out a little bit above target 4. So that ends that session. So crude is our only chart. Let's expand that. Crude's been on an upward run since 4:30 this morning, roughly. $2 plus increase. And slow moving action. Really slow moving. And a stop and reverse to short showing up. 52 it looks like. Yep. Again, a very small trade. Not big enough to make another tick adjustment in that. Around the 20 SMA. And so we do stop and reverse to short. Money management. Actually, money management's going to move down 2 ticks to 42, and we did get there. So that is money management. And there's our first target. So our stop is at 51. And second target as well. So targets 2 and 3 coming off. That should get us to POQ. Minimal loss on the stop and reverse. So that will end the session, and that'll be a wrap for this morning. All right, so that gets us done with that. Target 2 for 12, target 3 for 17, 29 on this 10 a.m. mini session. And a one and done session. So that will wrap it up this morning. We will see everybody next Tuesday at 9:30. Have a good afternoon, good trading tomorrow, and a good weekend. Actually, let's see. Yeah, we'll be in Tuesday. Let's see. I think President's Day is the third weekend. Yeah, President's Day is the 19th, so that's a week from. So regular schedule next week. And that will do it for this one. Everyone have a good one. And we will see you next week.